We want to thank the lawn and landscape community for making GIE+EXPO their place to reunite as an industry. Like a family reunion, thousands of dealers, landscape pros, and contractors return annually to network, share ideas, learn best practices, and make new friends. It all starts Wednesday, October 20th with the opening reception and continues into the night with free concerts in downtown Louisville. At the show, you'll have the opportunity to share experiences and brainstorm new approaches to your business challenges with friends and like-minded professionals. You don't want to miss the opening keynote, Secrets of Being an Effective Leader, presented by retired Navy 4-star Admiral James Stavridis. Register now at GIE+EXPO.com, and we'll see you October 20th through the 22nd in Louisville.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no-nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton, hanging out here with you guys. Good morning. How you guys all doing today? We are joined by my beautiful wifey for lifey. How you doing, babe?
Good.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the show. We're going to be talking about GIE+EXPO, and we're also going to be talking about Launchpreneur Academy here. Very excited about that. More specifically, I guess you could say, or even more broadly is probably the better word, is just talking about association, getting around good people. I wanted to title this episode like Recharging the Soul, because I think that's the name of the game when it comes to industry events. And so let's just be upfront with people. There's going to be a pitch here for you to go to GIE+EXPO and also to Launchpreneur Academy. But I want to do it in a different fashion, not to get your ticket and use the promo codes or let's make money or anything like that. I want to come from a very sincere heart and just talk to you guys frankly for the next 15, 20 minutes about
15, 20 minutes, okay.
Yeah, right. There you go. 30, 40 minutes later. It depends how charged up we get and how fired up we get because, well, honestly, I just got done with an hour and 40-minute coaching call with a guy named Dan. He's got the Fence Industry podcast. So I'm fired up and wired up. And you're doing pretty good, too, because baby's sleeping and we're recording this late night, actually, back in our home, real time. So I'm fired up. I'm like, dude, I'm going to be working until like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning now. I get so fired up talking to you guys about business and life and success and all this other mess. So, but honestly, I want to talk about the fact that so many people are working so hard in their business. It's been a long year. It always seems to be a long year. It's a long year. It's a long season. But at this time of the year, you get tired. You get burned out. You're honestly waiting for the season to end, if I'm just honest with you guys. If you're up here in Michigan, you're looking to transition to snow. We've had some cooler 50-degree weather mornings, right? You get out there and you're like, ooh, I need a jacket. Ooh, I need a sweater, right? So you're in that position where the season's changing, and for the next 8 weeks, you're going to have this haul where you have that last big push, maybe the last 2-3 months here of revenue, and then a lot of us are either taking time off because we're going into the off season, maybe you guys down south, or things go to bi-weekly or whatnot, or 2, you're up here in Michigan, you're getting ready for snow. But the reality is like, dude, you got to get back around people that charge up.
Mm-hmm. You really do.
Yeah, I mean, people that make you feel excited about who you are, what you're doing, and to be in business. I one of my friends, Jeff Joyner, said, in business for yourself, but not by yourself. More on that later. There's a new product we might be launching by Launchpreneur Academy. That's the actual statement and the quote for it. But let's talk about association. That's something that you and I are huge on.
It's so important. Even like, this is maybe not so relevant for you lawn care guys, but if there's any wives listening, like I recently had 2 friends visit, like 2 moms I super, super appreciate, look up to, like have always looked to as like an example. They came to visit and I haven't really had anybody come to visit just yet besides family. Yeah. And just getting around them like really refreshed me. Like, so it's not just in terms of business, like it's in terms of like life too, like who you want to align yourself up with. Like if you associate with them, they just bring something more out of you. And it's so important. And you have to read up every so often. That's one thing that it reminded me of, is it had been so long since I had gotten with them, since having Emmy, that I was like, wow, I really miss this association. Like I like who I am when I'm around these people. And I hadn't had that, like I said, for like at least 5 weeks, because that means 5 weeks old.
That's huge.
Yeah.
What you just said is actually extremely important, extremely valuable, and the way you said it was really, really good. Like, honestly.
Thanks. I feel like my brain's moving at half speed. You're like, let's podcast. I'm like, okay, brain, I need you.
No. Well, the only thing that gets done at half speed is Paul reading his audiobooks, obviously. Which, by the way, congratulations to Paul Jameson with the
Second book, man. He is killing it.
Green Industry Podcast, Paul Jameson, second book. He is killing the game, crushing it, him and Mr. Producer. I am very excited about following Paul's footsteps here very shortly. I got some more stuff in the works. We're busy behind the scenes, man. But very, very much so. Congratulations to Paul with that new book. A lot he said on the podcast, by the way, if you want to support him and the show, because you don't pay for a show, right? You know, the sponsors do. He said, hey, this is the opportunity to buy a book or two, maybe 3 books, and that directly supports the show and Paul and what Paul's doing, and it allows him to dedicate a lot of his schedule to the show, and he does a daily show. So I did.
I really
bought
like the concept of this book too, because he's talking about individual people's stories,
yeah,
right?
best business practices.
Yeah.
So he's got
really
like
cool.
15 people, I think. I'm still waiting for the audiobook, but yeah, absolutely. So, but he said buy a book or 2 to support him in the show. So I called him up and I said, hey, I'll buy 250.
I didn't know this.
I haven't even told you this? Are you dead serious right now? Yeah. You didn't see the invoice come in today on Gmail?
The only thing I'm on my phone for is my tracking app to track every time Emmy poops, sleeps, or eats.
Well, yeah. So I purchased 250, but I'm not a hero. Okay. I just said, hey, Paul, I love you. I love what you're doing. I want to support you. You're more than just another guy who runs a podcast to me. You're a friend. You're a really good friend of mine. I really want to see you win. No, this just goes back to the whole lemonade stand thing. Not that Paul's running a lemonade stand here, but true story today.
Yeah.
I was driving home and these 3 girls, they were 8, 5, and 3 or something like that. We're in a little curbside lemonade stand with the mom out there. They're flagging cars down, waving with their little sign. And I have a rule, as you know. What's the rule? We support the lemonade stands.
Yeah.
You're kind of drawing there. No radio silence.
No. They actually know, and then the subs that we're in, that Brian's on maintenance, what day he comes, and they, I swear, shuttle their kids out the door to go run a lemonade stand. They're like, oh, we're going to want to take that trip to Disney this fall, right? Kids, get out there. Here's the country crack or whatever, country time, not crunchy crack. I think that's a margarine company.
The country time lemonade stands all pop up. Yeah. Fullerton's coming through here, man. I swear to God. One time we were in this one subdivision, we got 20, 30 lawns in there. We were in there, lemonade stand. I come back the next week. Not only was the same lemonade stand there on Wednesday only, but there's one across the street, 3 houses down.
They're not dumb. Kids are smart.
Dude, 3 girls at one stand, 3 little girls at the other stand.
You really do supporting
yeah.
I think it's so cool because you as a kid did a lot of stuff beyond lemonade stands.
I did a hot dog stand.
Yeah, you did a bunch of.
I sold candy.
Stuff. Did you get shut down by the city?
Yeah, probably. I would have been that kid today. That I didn't have a food selling permit, whatever. Well, so we supported the local lemonade stand. Yeah. It was $1 a cup. They got to raise their rates. I should have dropped off the rate increase letter for them and trying to get these kids future proof, But I said with inflation, I was selling lemonade stands for $1 back, or a cup of lemonade back in the day for $1 back in back in my day, back in 1996. It's 2021 and these kids are still selling it for $1. Yeah. Should be $4 to adjust for inflation, the price of lemons, obviously, because I'm really on top of the food prices for fruit and vegetables. So, just kidding. But so I stopped at the lemonade stand. Let's slow it down. I stopped at the lemonade stand, gave him I had a 1 on the bill with a couple zeros. So I gave him $100, and the mom goes, "All right, well let's make change," because she thought I gave her a 5 or a 10, and she goes, she just freaked out. She goes, what's the 100 for? I go, it's just keep the change. She goes, we can't make change for that. I go, no, keep the change. So we want to support the lemonade stand. I said, you just have to give the next 5 people a free cup and don't tell them who bought it. And the mom's telling the girls, kids, take the money. It's okay. It's okay. And so we supported the lemonade stand, but nobody ever supported my lemonade stand when I was a kid because I was in the subdivision, trailer park. I'm in the 3rd phase. So I'm all the way in the back. You got to take a whole loop. If you guys know where
you had a location problem.
I had a very bad location. Well, I had a very bad location problem. So I had about 8 homes or 8 people that would support my stands because that's where the mailbox was. But if you lived on the other side of the loop or the south side of my road, the south version of my road, you would take the loop the other way to the other mailbox. So I had like...
Yeah, you lived all the way in the back.
I lived all the way in the back. So I had like literally access to about 12 people that would come to this far back of the sub. So nobody ever supported my lemonade stand. And so why I'm so on my soapbox here about supporting lemonade stands is because nobody ever supported mine. And I always made a pact that if I ever had money, or a decent couple bucks.
So are you calling Paul's book?
Paul is not a lemonade stand, but I'm trying to support. This is
are you giving them away?
Yes.
Okay.
So we bought 250 books just to get to the point.
Yeah.
Paul's not running a lemonade stand, but I'm trying to make this analogy. Is it a decent analogy?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying here. It's late night here, like we're on very limited sleep, so I'm trying. So I bought 250 of Paul's books, and Paul sold them to me at a discounted rate, but it still, cost a couple bucks. So we're going to give them away at the Xmark booth at GIE+EXPO.
Yeah, I had no idea about any of this, so that's really cool.
Yeah, well, you also didn't know about last year when I sent him $650 worth of water.
I did because I remember. Okay, so you didn't say anything. I'm like literally in the bedroom, like going to sleep or something, and I get like like emails coming through. I'm like, what the heck is this? And it's like, something from Amazon, like your San Pellegrino or whatever order is going to be shipped. I'm like, what? And so I log into Amazon and I see like, it's like a bulk order of this water. And I'm like, oh my God, somebody hacked the Amazon account.
This story has grown some legs. Paul, he's like, yeah, send me 500, but then 1,000. They're like, it's like.
Well, the worst part of it was Paul lived in an apartment complex that you had.
That's
to, like,
the best part. That's not the worst part. That's the best part.
The
I knew that part.
delivery person was like, yeah, screw this. I'm not taking this up like 8 flights of stairs. And
our Amazon guy is so lazy. Like our garage door is curbside roadside, but our door, because we live in a glorified luxury apartment, is on the back. So the Amazon guy literally just like UPS style throws it like a football at a garage door.
They just pull into the driveway and chuck it and hope for the best. I just actually got a package that I thought was missing. It said it was delivered a week ago.
Because our house door is in the back of the building, and so they think that it's like on the opposite side here.
No, like there was no package. I don't know where it was in this.
No, that package specifically, but I'm saying 90% of our packages.
Well, I stole from Amazon at this point because I made a claim saying it would never arrived. And
Bezos is going to do okay.
It.
So maybe you get that from my sister-in-law, Sarah. So she's hustling Amazon.
I feel bad. I thought about like emailing them.
So anyway, so we throw, so all the packages come to the back door. So yes. They're very, very, they're not lazy. They just get electrically shocked, if they don't like keep up on their time.
Yeah, I'm sympathetic towards Amazon.
I'm not. It's a business, man. Make some money. So whatever, if not, hey, go cut grass. Let's teach you how to do that. It's a lot more fun. So Paul's guy though, Paul's on like a second or third story apartment. We've been there obviously, and he's got a nice pad, but the Amazon guy was not bringing up
like a pallet of water.
Well, these are big cases of water. I remember I laughed for like a week straight because Paul got like
in the mailroom.
Well, because the Amazon order was $650. Okay, I'm not a hero, whatever. It's just it was actually probably a stupid decision, but I bought $650 worth of water on Amazon.
You can't see me right now, but I'm shaking my head.
As Caleb Ullman says with Brittany, like, did you hear the eye roll? And he's like, I heard the retinas detach. So rolling in the back of her head. Big fans of the Kid Contractor podcast. But it was funny because they had a restriction because of COVID or who knows what. So I had to punch in the order like 4 times to actually get the pallet worth of water to go to Paul's place. So for like 4 days, these huge boxes, I mean, they're like 3 feet long, 18 inches by 18 inches, heavy water. So Paul's like, man, like, thanks. And I'm like, bro, I know I ordered $650 worth of water. Like, you got a fifth of this order in. So he's like laughing. Thanks for sending me some water. He was doing a summer tour.
Yeah, I was just going to say he was leaving on a summer tour.
He was going to be parched. I wanted to make sure he had good water because he drinks that top shelf stuff. What'd you say? Like Perrier and Pellegrino and I don't know, like water I've never even heard of, Essentia and all this stuff. So, but then the real order came in, or I think the real order was at the clubhouse.
It was at the mailroom, yeah.
Yeah, for like a day or two. And he's like, man, what the hell's with all these packages? Like somebody needs to get their mail. Because the Amazon guy just put them in the corner. And so he's walking in one day and I guess it just hits him and he goes, I'm going to check the labels on that really quick just to see what's up. So he realizes it's got a big mail room. It's probably like a 20 foot by 20 foot mail room with like all the little P.O. boxes. And he realizes that like in the corner is like 15 cases of water. And Paul's like buildings like across the street, up 2 flights of stairs. So the Amazon
Paul
guy
got his workout in because the Amazon guy was like, screw this.
Hey man, I was trying to help Paul with leg day. You know what I'm saying? He's every day is leg day, So I'm trying to help him out there. So we sent Paul $650 worth of water last year. I figure if this is our annual budget that we're now
For Paul.
allowing for Paul.
Oh, Paul's in the annual budget.
He's in the annual budget. Hey, the almond said, and Mike Bedell says build budgets, right? Forecast, broadcast.
This is what they were talking about.
Newscast, a lot of casting. So we're, we're putting Paul in the annual budget for his something. I mean, the budget went up. It cost a lot more for books, and I'll tell you for water. So that's a cool thing. So any which way, very, very excited about giving those books away. I really just wanted to support him.
Cool.
Yeah, it's just a fun thing to do. And so I want to support
him. Is he
him.
there like signing them?
I think so. I would imagine so. We're going to do an Xmark booth takeover from 10 to 11 a.m. Thursday morning. So let's do this really quick. Let's go to talking about live events in general, because here's my analogy for you guys. It's not a pitch to get you there for like any ulterior motive. I'm telling you straight up. Like, we do get a kickback if you use our promo code for GIE. Fantastic. If you go to Launchpreneur Academy, it's a for-profit event. Like, we're going to make money on the event. But like, that's not really the reason for the event. The reason for these events is to associate, to network. Like you said, build these friendships, these relationships, to get charged up. Humans are relational creatures, period, case closed. Even if you're the most introverted of, this is my opinion, even if you're the most introverted of introverts, which probably 80% of you guys listening are kind of that way like I am. Put your earbuds in, go mow some grass, don't talk to anybody. That's like my perfect day. The point is, you still need other people. As a human being, you're a spirit, right? And human beings need other people. They need other humans. They need to interact and engage with other spiritual beings. Like, this is, you don't even have to believe that way per se, but you just know when you get around other people, typically they charge you up. Even if you're an introvert, people like relationship. And I heard once somebody had said, it was a motivational speaker guy on probably some YouTube video way back in the day. And he said, if you are looking at like a fire, like coals to a fire, and if you take a coal away from the fire, right, to stand on its own 2 feet, you take this coal away from the fire, that coal is going to cool off. Like, duh, like this is really, common stuff. That coal's going to just get dark. However, if you take that coal and I don't care how cold the coal is, and you put it back in the fire, right? That coal is going to glow again. It's going to get hot again. And so what we do is these live events, it's been a year, right? From Launchpreneur Academy. It's been a year since GIE+EXPO.
2 years since GIE.
Well, yeah, you're right. 2 years from GIE+EXPO.
It's crazy.
So we take the coal, has been out of the fire, and so it's cooled off. Whether you know it or not, you're losing momentum. You're cooling off. Like, even if you're Mr. Success.
It's honestly
and
like,
Mr.
have you ever
Guru,
had like, you take a second and you drink, have a glass of water and you're like, holy crap, I didn't realize how thirsty I was until I took that sip of water.
That's good.
Like, that's how it was for me when my friends came over.
It's true.
Like,
well, and I booked your friends to come on over.
yeah, you kind of made that happen. I didn't want anybody to come over. Like, you have a newborn, your house is a mess.
Let me ask you this: were you glad that people came over?
I was so glad.
Did you know that you needed it that much?
No, I didn't. No.
There's my pitch for why you need to go to Expo and why you need to go to Launchpreneur Academy. Because for real, like just being honest, like half you guys listening in, you don't even know how much you're missing out on relationship and how cooled off you've become, how much you've let. And I'm not coming down on anybody. I'm just saying, me too. Standards are slipping, goals aren't being hit, you're losing momentum, you're losing excitement, you're losing enthusiasm. You know why? Because when you take that coal away from the fire, you're going to cool off.
Right.
And so the podcast is kind of like that shot in the arm every day or every week to kind of get charged up. But it's unlike anything you do when you get to meet people in person. And here's why. Because we're spiritual beings that enjoy friendship, enjoy relationship. We enjoy seeing each other, looking into other people's eyes, laughing, breaking bread together. It's entirely different than consuming a podcast where you busy your mind. Your mind can't connect with another being if you're listening to me or Paul 1,000 miles away, but your spirit being can connect in person. That's why you need that relationship in person, that proximity. If
you just look, unfortunately, at some of the stuff that's happened this past year with COVID and everything else, like relationally, how much people were hurting.
Sure.
Like the suicide rate and everything was up in like an insane amount.
You're isolated.
Yeah, because people were completely isolated. And yes, you can, you see people on a screen like YouTube videos. You can even people were FaceTiming and stuff with their friends in quarantine, right?
Yeah.
But it's still...
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
And then that also gives a reason or a pitch or whatever you want to say for a case for going to Launchpreneur Academy, for example, right? You get to go hang out with other people, other friends, and meet them in person. And it's like, I heard somebody say like, it was probably even Kalfas talking about live events. Like you can get the live event replay. You can get let's say you get like your favorite musician or band, right? A lot of people have heard this analogy before, but let's say like, you're like, dude, I got the 25th anniversary CD of Metallica, like, dude, it was awesome. Okay, cool. And then you talk to somebody who's like went to the actual show back in like 1991, the 25th anniversary show. They got the t-shirt and like, dude, I was at it's been 15, 20 years. And
they're
like,
still talking about
they're
it.
still talking about, dude, the live show. And then this guy came out. And then this guy came out. And then this guy's now this guy, this new super, rock star guy. But back then he was a nobody, but he was like the opener. And we didn't know that he would turn into, this next crazy awesome dude. And they're like, man, back in 1995.
It's the intangible experiences.
It totally, you know why? Because you're in person.
Right.
You're that cooled off coal getting put back in the fire, and people are like, well, Launchpreneur Academy, like I already know about business. I already know about success. I already know I need to work harder. I already know what I need to do get my numbers better. I know I need to learn some things. Yeah. You're missing the point.
There's people coming who have like multi-million-dollar businesses that are coming for the association. They don't need anything that like we can teach them. We don't have a multi-million-dollar business.
Yeah.
But it's the association of other people who are in the hunt, whether you're at, base level or, kind of like rock star level with the business.
It's not about X's and O's. Now you're going to learn a lot at the event, no doubt about it. But I want to give a retreat. That's what Launchpreneur Academy. That's our live event that we're doing in Michigan, November 13th. It's a Saturday. You can get your tickets at launchpreneuracademy.com. Tickets are selling really well. Like I'm actually like not hyping up the event as much as I did the last 2 years. Like
probably should be with
I probably should be because there's a huge bankroll to it. And the reason I'm not trying to hype it up is I don't want the wrong people to be there. Not that there's a wrong person to get there. I just don't want to sell and convince people to get there. I'm not going to convince somebody that you need to associate, have fun, get around successful people, and kick ass in life. Like you either know that you need to be there, you should be there, right? And if you already got your ticket, like, dude, God loves the bold. I love the bold. I don't want to be lukewarm in anything I do in life. Be hot, be cold, but if you be lukewarm, I'm going to spew out of the side of my mouth. I don't want to be anybody's spew. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't sound good. You know what I'm saying? So be hot, be cold. Either decide to go or decide not to go. But if you think you're going to make the decision to go, I'm going to encourage you or challenge you to get your ticket. Get your ticket to the live event. Don't wait till the last week or the last 2 weeks or, what's the point? Put in the credit card and get there. If you can't afford it, you need to be there even more. So here's my point. My point isn't to get you to go look at lawnmowers. My pitch isn't to get you to learn X's and O's from a Corey Ballard or a Greg Wadestock, although I think you're going to learn an incredible amount. I mean, I say this every year, but I don't know who else to bring in to be able to offer a better lineup about business and success.
Right.
Greg Woodstock has a $45 million company. That's insane. Okay, for context, he's doing 45 million divided by 12 is what? $3.5 to $4 million a month. He's doing almost $1 million a week in sales. I'm pretty sure you can learn something from him. Corey's doing $20 million. They're doing 100 to 200 grand a week in sales. Like, that's insane. I'm pretty sure you can learn some things, even if you're trying to just run a $50,000 or $100,000 company, right? Mm-hmm. And by the way, if you don't want to come and learn from those guys, you just want to have fun, that's what the full speed, full adrenaline, throttle park, whatever it's called, high speed go-karts Friday night is all about. Because I'm all about the fun. Like, I know I'm going to go there. I know Corey's going to try to pop a smile, but really probably just yell at me for 35 minutes in his speech, which I kind of like. I'm like, you're that way too. Yeah. Like, just yell at me and tell me I'm a moron and what I got to fix. Like you like the negative reinforcement, which is really weird. I'm like, I just need somebody to love on me, telling me I'm awesome and that I'm appreciated, and I'm not going to be the last kid on the soccer field playing kickball. Please tell me I'm not going to be last.
Our styles are so different. It's so funny to me. I'm like cleric, and you're like, I don't know what they would call it.
I'm like, I just want love from a distance, just check in on me.
You have the most cleric child. I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's gonna take after me.
She is, man. She kicks that pacifier out of her mouth. She's like, "Buh." Like, I'm like, kid, put it back in your mouth. She's like, no. I'm like, you're not supposed to talk yet. She's like, she goes, what? I go, what? She goes, what? I go, goo goo. She goes, goo goo. I'm like, you're 5 weeks old, kid. I swear to God, she's about ready to start doing her taxes. But that's only if my dog relinquishes that role. So listen, really quick. For Launchpreneur Academy, it's going to be so much fun. Get your ticket if you haven't got your ticket. This is just your quick PSA. Go onto your phone, go on your website, go purchase your ticket, or do it later tonight. I'm just so excited, dude. I'm freaking so excited about the event. GIE+EXPO. Let's talk about that because I think that's going to be the first big event, obviously, that's coming up in about 5-6 weeks here.
We want to thank the lawn and landscape community for making GIE+EXPO their place to reunite as an industry. Like a family reunion, thousands of dealers, landscape pros, and contractors return annually to network, share ideas, learn best practices, and make new friends. It all starts Wednesday, October 20th with the opening reception and continues into the night with free concerts in downtown Louisville. At the show, you'll have the opportunity to share experiences and brainstorm new approaches to your business challenges with friends and like-minded professionals. You don't want to miss the opening keynote, Secrets of Being an Effective Leader, presented by retired Navy 4-star Admiral James Stavridis. Register now at GIE-EXPO.com, and we'll see you October 20th through the 22nd in Louisville.
Gosh, I can't believe it.
Yeah, at the time of this recording, you got a day or two left to use the promo code Brian, I think, save you 50%. I don't think you can talk about GIE+EXPO without plugging your code. I think that's just how it works with everybody who's an influencer that's got a code. Awesome. Fantastic. Support those people. It's awesome because they get a kickback and it goes back into helping them produce the content that we all get to digest, which myself included. I listen to everybody's podcast and I'm just a fanatic. I love this stuff, man. I love learning and working and hustling. I don't know. Let's talk about our schedule really quick because I think some people want to meet up and hang out a little bit. So we'll come at you guys real time. This will probably change a little bit, but let's talk about some X's and O's.
Okay.
Tuesday night, we're coming in Monday, but we're saying for the week. Tuesday night, we're going to dinner over with some folks, so please don't ask. Sorry, we're already kind of booked up there. Wednesday, though, we're super excited about the show because we're going to be there 3 to 7, hanging out the whole time. And from 5 to 7, we're going to be at the Toro booth. We're going to do a little Toro takeover. I think we're slotted in there. A couple of other influencers, if you will, are going to be going through that mill, which is really exciting. I think B&B, Paul Jameson, a couple other guys. Maybe.
Fun.
Yeah, they're going to be right before us. So hopefully I get to bump into those guys. Always a good time. I think we're going to be slotted in the same time as the Almonds and Christian with C&I Services.
Oh, yay.
So that'd be
Like a
really
little party.
Get to hang out with Candy Pizza.
Candy pizza.
That's what we call Christian. There's a whole story there. But C&I Services, he's a great kid. He's 19 to $500,000, which is insane. I should borrow some money from him. You know what I'm saying? So we'll be at the Toro booth from 5 to 7 Wednesday night. There's probably going to be hors d'oeuvres all over the place from all the different booths and maybe like beer tents if you guys are into that, and food. Typically it's going to be all over the place. Sometimes that's before the show really opens, but some people will have some sausage links still like laying around, which is cool. So we're
always like scavenging.
I'm a scavenger
at GIE. We always get so hungry.
It's true.
I had to bring snacks this year. It was the baby.
That's
and
true.
Everything.
Liz will be there with baby intermittently. We're gonna try to finagle that. Obviously, are the lights glowing and dimming?
Yeah, it's gonna freak me out.
All right. Well, maybe we should run this episode here before we get forced closed and shut down. But GIE+EXPO, little context here if you guys are maybe new to the show. It's the biggest green industry, arguably, event of the year outside of Launchpreneur Academy. And so huge trade show, Louisville, Kentucky. It's like $10-20 to go. 50% off coupon code to get you there. You get a whole access to the whole show. The trainings are typically a la carte and I think cost more money, but some of them are included, which is cool. But that is down in Louisville, Kentucky, the 20th through the 22nd. And it's like a 1 million square foot expo arena with another like 40 acres of outdoor demo. You can run a chainsaw, run a skid steer, run a four-wheeler, a side-by-side, a dingo, all these different pieces, any mower you want, it's there. I think all you need is a valid driver's license or 16 and above, and you're good to go, which is really, really exciting.
It is so cool. It's like a whole, amusement park isn't the right term outside.
Kind of is, though.
Like a fair, I don't know how to
It's like a state fairground kind of a setup. It's a lot of fun, minus the elephant ear stands.
Wait, so Wednesday, we're at Toro?
Wednesday, we're at Toro from 5 to 7.
Okay.
So if you guys want to say, hey, snap a photo, do some videos, hang out, I want to meet you, come meet me, that's going to be really cool.
And when do you do the X-Mark booth with?
So, really quick,
books?
to wrap up Wednesday night, we're going to go to 4th Street Live because that's the big shindig.
Got it.
Wednesday, 4th Street Live, that's the big shindig downtown. I think the Yee guy, Granger Smith, I don't know.
I am so far removed from society at
Me
this
too.
point. I have no idea what's happening
I think
out
he's
there.
like a famous YouTuber and like songwriter, and I think he's a country guy, like a musician even.
Okay.
I don't know. He's probably like some super successful dude. I have no idea
what's going on.
Maybe give me a shout out. Bring me on stage and I can sing, some of his songs that I don't know anything about. So hopefully, though, Steel's not flinging hats out like they did last year. And I'm like, hey, Steel, you want to sponsor some stuff? And they're like, yeah, we can't, man. Budget's tight. And then we go to
you're watching them fling all of the free product.
Every hat was $20-$25. I'm like, what are you guys doing? They flung away 200 hats. I go, there's my budget for some stupid hats that people are going to wear for 3 minutes, and then they're going to forget about it because they're all drunk at this stupid outdoor event.
People get so drunk.
People really start knocking them back. Listen, I think I listened to, maybe it was Paul who was talking about this. He said, look, if you like the party, okay? Just remember you got to wake up Thursday morning and you do not want to be miserable for the real attraction, which is the Thursday, Friday show. Wednesday's the teaser.
I couldn't imagine being hungover trying to get through the GIE. It would be so miserable.
We saw some people that were just, it was getting to be like midnight, 1 a.m. They're just knocking them back still. And I'm like, dude, like you were going to have a you see those people Thursday. We know people. Some of you guys, if you know, you know. They've been there. They haven't been back there since then, but they did not have a good Friday morning. They went out Thursday night, I think, even. So if you're going to go party, just do it in moderation. Be smart. Be a good example down there. Thursday morning is kind of like the main event. This might only, I think, official obligation outside of the Toro Wednesday night because we wanted to keep it light. We wanted to be able to meet people.
We weren't sure with like the baby and like we go there to see you guys, and so we didn't want to tie ourselves up too much with the baby and companies and everything. And we have in years past, it's like we're running from one thing to the next to the next.
It gets old. Yeah, and it's fun, and I appreciate the opportunity, but like I'm kind of over like that where I just want to. I've always wanted to just meet people, but I was like, well, I need to meet people and build relationships. We have quite a few relationships. Frankly, I don't even care about any of the like to grow the company relationships thing. Like, it's not why I do any of what we do, like to make money or to like get free product. Like I'm so beyond that. I don't even care anymore. I just want to like meet people, hang out with people and help them grow and make more money. Well, that's what we're going to be doing this year. That's the idea. We're going to hang out Toro 5 to 7, come hang out. We're going to be there for 2 hours and, we can, kiss babies and,
Please don't kiss my baby.
No kissing the baby. No. But Thursday morning, super excited about Thursday morning is my big shindig because we're going to be at Xmark's booth from 10 to 11 a.m. It lasts. So in 2019, there was 200 to 300 people in the booth.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. If you guys want to do me a solid, just pound that booth out with people. Okay. Like my one of my bigger brand deals is with Xmark. You guys know that's like my dream brand deal. I
should get a little Xmark onesie.
A little Xmark onesie. I'm sure Xmark will give us one if they were smart. You know what I'm saying? But if you guys can help me bomb out the Xmark booth at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Thursday morning, I'm doing a solid for you guys too. I bought 250 books of Paul's. And I said, Paul, can you promote your book there? Just pass out copies, sign copies, get to hang out. Can you like not work the booth with me, but can you come work the booth with me? And he's like, dude, I'd love to. He goes, Xmark is like partnered with his podcast and show, and he's got some great contacts and friends there. So not only do you get to see Liz and I, but you also get to see my boy, Paul Jameson. So he's going to hang out with me. I'm not going to commit a whole hour of Paul's schedule, obviously, but I know he's going to be there for, a good half hour, getting to hang out with you guys. And if you guys want a photo, if you guys want a video or vlog, or you guys are bringing a GoPro,
that's kind of where to do it.
That's the place to do it, man. Right. 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Xmark's booth Thursday morning. It's like the huge reveal of the new stand-on mower, which I didn't talk about. I can't talk about. I signed NDAs. I said I don't even know if they have a new mower that's coming out, but I'm just saying if they did,
if they happen
to have a new stander, that's where it would be.
Are we doing wild eggs on Friday?
No, because we got the baby. It's tough. Yeah. Everybody goes out Thursday nights and parties. Doing a 7 a.m. breakfast Friday morning, which was crazy. We still had we took up the whole restaurant. Like 3/4 of it. Yeah, there were 60, 70 people the 2019 Friday. Yeah, we used to do an optional breakfast Friday morning if people wanted to hang out, because we're all early birds anyway. So
I am not an early bird.
You're not, but everybody who cuts grass, you're a 9:30 early bird.
Now I am.
You are now. Oh, how the turntables.
How the turntables.
Well, that's how we know.
Turned.
That's how we. That's how we know God's got a sense of humor. He gave us an early morning baby, which I think all babies are.
I don't know. I see people and they're like, "Oh, my baby slept 14 hours."
She goes to bed at 9. She's up at 5:30, 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
Which has basically been your schedule for the last 3 years, right?
No, I go to bed at 5 and wake up at noon.
Oh, it's true.
So I was a waitress. I worked at a bar. It was great.
We're night owl people for darn sure. Like it's a little around almost 11 o'clock now, and we're just getting started. I'm like, I'm about to go bang out a YouTube video.
I have to go home.
Work on some Fiverr stuff. Liz has to go home. The ladies of the night.
It's so hard to go.
Mr. Producer's gonna tear you up on that one.
It's so hard to go to bed when she goes to bed. People are like, "Oh, sleep when the baby sleeps." And my kid goes to bed at like 8 o'clock. My natural like rhythm. I don't go to bed until like midnight. So trying to get myself to go to bed, even I can be dead tired. Going to bed at 8 o'clock does not happen for me. I just lay there.
I literally have to take drugs to go to sleep.
Brian's version of drugs, by the way, are melatonin. Just to throw it out there, because it's going to be, Brian's on maintenance revealed.
I don't do drugs, but the melatonin to me are like drugs. The melatonin, little gummies.
They're gummies. They're the most.
They're probably like 50 milligrams.
Juvenile thing. I'm pretty sure they're for kids, but they knock Brian out. He drools on himself. It's really sad, actually.
dude, Benadryl and melatonin knock me out. I mean, like coma. Like, dude, SpaceX could be launching out of my window. I'm sleeping through that mug. I don't even care. Kids like chewable melatonin. They're like 50 milligrams. They're not even like the good ones, you know. It's like all synthetic, like fake, probably supplement. But hey, man, they're like 50 milligram specials.
It's a.
Mr. Producer's going to tear you up, though, about a second ago about what you just said.
About having to go home?
Yeah. Like, we do podcasts now, not to mess up, because of Mr. Producer. People are like, oh, you guys put out great content.
I don't listen to him anyway.
He hypes you up on the show so bad. He hypes you up. He's like, get Liz back on the show. Those episodes always do the best.
I don't know why. I thought it was bad before. Now half my brain's missing.
The irony, though, is like you don't even listen to that episode. It's like he's your biggest fan, and like it's like you don't even respond to his he like makes like ad libs at the end of the show, and you're not even around to hear him. So like you don't even appreciate his work. He actually puts a lot of effort into the show. Just so you know, we have a producer.
No,
his name is Marty, Mr. Producer. Listen, all right.
Is it just Paul?
All right, listen. What?
You hired Paul. Mr. Producer is actually Paul.
No. Paul's got a real producer. His name is Marty. I've talked to the guy. I call Paul out.
It's not just Paul.
Because you can't fake the golden voice. Okay,
this is true.
For any of you guys that hire Mr. Producer out for voiceover work, he does voiceover work. He's got
amazing,
very successful resume. But when you call, I talked to him the other day. I was I don't know, it was like on a Friday or a Saturday or something. I was doing some work and I called him up. We were talking for about an hour. Just we haven't really caught up for a couple months, honestly, with like just the lay of the land for the show. And the way he talks is like, "Hello, this is Marty." And I'm like, well, hello, this is Brian. Listen, it's similar but different, but it's literally like if you were on the phone with Morgan Freeman. Like Morgan Freeman, he's like, the world was made 6,000 years ago. Like his voice is that
I've always
perfect.
wondered what it's like to either have a voice like that or like a singing voice like Lauren Daigle, to be able to just open your mouth.
Yeah.
And like that comes out.
Yeah. Lauren,
never not amazing.
If you had a voice like Lauren Daigle, you shouldn't be cutting grass. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Well, I doubt Lauren Daigle cuts grass.
No, she's awesome. If you guys have never seen Lauren Daigle in person for a concert, concerts are coming back because the scandemic is over. You have got to go see Lauren Daigle.
She's amazing.
She's incredible. We saw her in person, and I will tell you, she is like one of the few people we saw in person that are
better like in person. I was so worried.
Than the studio CD.
Yeah, I was like, because you go to these concerts and you're like, wow, you sound like trash.
100%.
And it kind of ruins it for you.
Yep.
And I loved her music for so long. And I was so worried about seeing her in person. But 10 times better, she's ruined it for like
the
not
CD.
In person.
We can't even listen to her on Pandora.
Seriously.
Because she's awful on
I don't know how this turned into like a Lauren Daigle.
And she's 10 times. I know she's 10 times better. This is why you got to go in person.
Yeah.
This is exactly why we're talking about going in person. That she is
I wish I could like relive that concert. That was so good.
Well, we went to the Look Up Child tour.
Yeah.
I bought scalp tickets, $500.
Horrible.
Fifth row, center, perfect seat. I mean, the most perfect seats you could arguably buy.
It was amazing.
But that's the exact reason why you go in person to things, right? Mm-hmm. And people are like, well, I'll get the replay, or I'll hear some cliff notes, or they'll release the song. They'll release, one of the speeches.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. You don't get the hallway seminars, the picking the brain of the people at the tables with you. GIE+EXPO, getting to walk the showroom floor. Hey man, what's working for you? What's not working for you? How's business? How's life? That's why you go to these things in person. I mean, Absolutely. So, all right. Well, that's our only 2 obligations. Toro Wednesday night, Xmark 10 to 11 a.m. I'll be at the show all day Thursday, all day Friday. I'm really praying to Jesus that there's no restrictions and masks and all that crap, because I'm just not dealing with that. That's the case. I'm going to be outside the whole time. I'm probably going to be outside the whole time anyway. Thursday, Friday. A little shout out for the lawn care, like world YouTuber, influencer, meetup, whatever that you call it, what that Naylor's doing. I'm really bad at details, so find Naylor's content. There's a winery, I think, or something like that we're all meeting up at on Thursday night.
Distillery.
What's the difference between a distillery and a winery? I mean, is that like the same thing?
No.
All right, Mrs. White Claw, let's keep it going. So
I've never had a White Claw.
I don't know the difference between a distillery and a
winery.
Yeah, what's the difference?
Well, one's for wine and one's for like spirits. Like a distillery is for like liquor.
Okay, bourbon.
I would think so. It's Kentucky.
This is true. I guess the difference between what did we learn on that tour? The difference between bourbon and something else was like 1%.
Only thing I learned on that was that B&B was willing to take shots at 10 a.m. and he was the only one in our group to do so.
We had this bourbon tour with a couple different people.
Natalie's pregnant with twins. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning.
She did not drink, for the record.
Chant and Amy don't drink. You don't drink. And I'm like,
You
I'm
and
not
B&B
drinking
are
at
just
10 a.m.
Blake's like, you guys gonna drink that? But no. He's like, shot.
I haven't had a drink in like 3 years.
He was such a young kid at 21 back then. He was like, whatever. Now he's like 23 and an old fart like
That
the rest
was
of
a
us.
fun
Or
trip.
25. But no, I think the difference between like bourbon and something else was like scotch or something was like 1%.
No, bourbon and whiskey is
Bourbon,
like...
it was like 1% difference. But I guess the state can tax bourbon at like 60%, and they can only tax whiskey at like 10% or whatever the thing is. So that's why it's like the official drink is bourbon of Louisville. Because they put a blockade on other things being called bourbon. And if you like add flavor pellets or something back in after the distilling process, it's no longer whiskey. It's no longer bourbon. It's now whiskey.
I have no idea.
Yeah, like they were making all these like rules. I'm like, basically you corner the market.
Can you even name a bourbon brand?
Yeah. Old Joe's bourbon.
I thought you were going to say Old Spice for a second.
Old Spice. That's almost like putting bourbon on. You know what? I can't think of bourbon. Any flavors.
Can you name whiskey? Flavors.
A whiskey? Oh, you're embarrassing me on my own show.
I'm sorry.
An episode of whiskey. A flavor of whiskey would be Jack Daniels.
Flavor of whiskey.
Just Jack Daniels.
They're not flavors.
I know. I knew that. I'm seeing if you're paying attention. Jack Daniels. Is that a whiskey?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
It's
so I win the
Tennessee
bet.
Whiskey, right?
Tennessee whiskey? I don't know. Long story short, you need to go to GIE+ Expo and Entrepreneur Academy, okay? All right. I think I'm out of words. Thursday night, Naylor's got the influencer meetup, which the whole lawn community goes to. There's going to be 600 people there. It's going to be awesome. Friday morning, there's the panel. I'm not on the panel because we got a baby, and I'm like, there's no way I can commit to that much stuff. We should be able to stop by there as long as we can get out of the house at a decent time. You have to go back to your house still tonight.
You have to go home.
You have to go home. That's going to be Friday morning. I think in like one of the main ballrooms, 8 or 9 a.m. They're going to rock that for an hour, like do a live Q&A and podcast, and it's going to be really cool. So check that out if you guys are going. But that's what I got. We're going to be out by 4 p.m. on Friday. We're hitting the road. Come on back. Hopefully be home.
We're going back the same day. We always say we won't drive back the same day.
You want to stay an extra night? We should.
Probably.
Rob's holding the fort all week, so the next week Rob's taking a week off. I gave Rob a paid vacation a week after that because he didn't want to go to Louisville, but he's like, hey, I'm going to go with some friends and do some other stuff. So Rob's getting a week off after that, which is cool. So we can stay till Saturday. We can stay till Sunday.
Have my mom with us.
We should. Let's just stay an extra day or two because there's nothing else going on back at home. So we'll figure that out. If anybody's sticking around in Louisville Friday, Saturday, hit us up because maybe we'll be around.
Because it always happens we drive and then we ended up stopping at a rest stop and sleeping for 2 hours.
And then we get home at 3 a.m.
And it's horrible.
Because honestly, you're so whipped from the show.
Yeah, it's
like,
exhausting. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how anybody just like hungover.
I mean, honest answer, like for me, I'm an introvert. And so it's the most extrovert thing. I know it sounds really weird, but like it's the most extroverted thing I do for 3 days for the year. Besides Entrepreneur Academy, I meet 500, 700 people, and that puts me on empty, like zero. Like so on Friday, I'm like, Liz, I feel like I just got mauled, you know.
You have like no voice, like you're super dehydrated.
Ed Wright loses his voice every time.
Like by day one.
By day one, because you're just talking to because everybody wants to meet each other and hang out and regroup. Look, here's my last pitch. Let's just call a pitch. Like, my plea is, my encouragement, my wish, my prayer, whatever you guys want to say. Go to GIE+EXPO. If you've never been, just go. Just check it out one time. I've never seen anybody go and be like, man, this was dumb or this wasn't worth it. Launchpreneur Academy, same thing. Get your ticket. I think we're at like 130, 140 tickets out of 300. They're selling great. We're like on pace. We're doing really, really well. It's very healthy. Thank you to all of you guys that have gotten your tickets. If you're going to go, get your ticket this weekend. Get your ticket these next couple of days. Make a decision to go. Help us get to 225 out of the 300 tickets we're selling. That way we are that much more chilled out and comfortable because there's like a $60,000 to $100,000 budget for this thing, and I'm just being serious. So there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of speakers coming in, flights, hotels. Like, you don't want to be trying to book a hotel the week of and trying to figure this all out last minute. So that's my pitch. We're spiritual beings. We're humans. We need relationship. Okay, we crave it. You don't know how thirsty you are until you took that sip of water and how much you need in that glass of water. You had friends that came over. You didn't realize after just 5 weeks, a lot of us has been going 5 months, almost 11 months, right? For our businesses and our companies.
Well, yeah, especially with COVID last year. If you didn't come to Launchpreneur Academy and like you missed out on GIE, obviously
you're on
like,
fumes.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you didn't come to Launchpreneur Academy last year,
yourself out of your business.
You're in the desert, and you'll start feeling apathetic. You'll be resentful. Why isn't things working? You got to recharge. You got to get around other people who are succeeding and making it happen. Absolutely. So when you're drinking water, and if you feel thirsty, you've probably already been thirsty for a couple hours. They say, if you are craving friendship or relationship, you've probably already been relational, deficient for weeks or months or hours, right? Same thing. That's why we're trying to help you guys get to the live events. That's why we're trying to help you guys get to Launchpreneur Academy. We absolutely are so fired up and excited to have you guys there. That's it. It's a pitch, but it's a pitch out of sincerity where we want to hang out with you guys. We want to associate, want to shake hands, see some eyeballs, get to hang out with you guys and meet you guys and just love on you guys, hang out with you guys. We get so encouraged, and we just love hanging out with you guys.
We really do.
Anything else you got on this episode? No, we're good.
No, radio silence in my brain apparently.
Well, like your whole body language went from like sit up, perked up, like ready to rock and roll, to now you're like laying sideways with like just like ready to rock and roll and go to bed. So, all right, guys. Well, this is just a quick timely episode for the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. My voice is gone. I've been on the phone for 2 hours. For an hour.
On call.
No, I just had so much fun. Dan with the Fence Industry podcast. Check him out. Little shout out, free plug for him. Great dude. He's killing the fence industry game. He wants to be the Paul Jameson of the fence industry. And I said, dude, you absolutely could. You absolutely should help people. He's like, man, the reception has been so great with what he's doing. And shout out to Jeremiah Jennings with Growing Green Landscapes. Guys, we'll wrap it up right here. So much good stuff going on behind the scenes for us. We're working so hard, just like so many of you guys. I'm coming in hot. I'm going to like gas, run the tank to empty, just sprint to the finish line, which is Expo, run to the finish line, which is Launchpreneur Academy. I'm going to get so recharged up. I'm going to dissect everything like I always do in the winter, rebuild, restructure, reformulate, make things as profitable as we can for 2022.
Hey.
We're going to hit the ground running. What's up?
When are you announcing your new project?
At Launchpreneur Academy.
Okay. Did you say that already?
I don't know on this episode, but we're working on it. I mean, another freaking, like my post on Instagram today got
taken down.
Taken down for community guidelines. Has nothing to do with anything that I had a gun post. And so I'm getting, it's related to being censored. Okay, folks. So we got some stuff we're working on for community and I don't want to say too much, but it's going to be something cool. It's very obvious what's coming down the pike, but we're very, very excited about offering that because we want to take a lot of things off platforms, off Instagram, off YouTube, just honestly. And I'm not even going to go down that whole rabbit hole. So many of you guys already know and think and feel and believe the same way we do about so many different things. That's why we're all on the same team here, and we're really excited about that. Even if you disagree with some of the stuff I think about or politics, for example, you can still agree that people shouldn't be, their voice squelched. Let's just say that. We'll just leave it at that too. But we got some new stuff coming at Launchpreneur Academy. That's why I'm excited about just getting so many people there.
gonna happen so fast.
It's all coming together so quick, man. We're so excited. So many of you guys are winning. We're winning with you. We're hustling. We don't want to get smoked or left behind either. Amen.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, let's do this. Let's kick it over to Marty, Mr. Producer. We'll button it up right here. Thanks for listening to this show. A little different today. I think I say that on every episode because you never know what you're going to get.
The beginning of this 15, 25 minutes or whatever.
48 minutes later.
48 minutes.
Hey, this Friday, we got another guest interview coming. The next couple weeks on Fridays, we're doing
it's
a little.
Naylor, isn't it?
I think this week is Friday. Is Naylor? Yep. I think the next week Friday is either Julio Lawn Care Business Success or Caleb Allman.
That's so fun.
We're gonna Jeremiah Jennings on the show. A couple other great people. So Friday we're doing a little Friday feature, a little Friday takeover, if you will, for the podcast. Honestly, it helps me to do a little less work running the show and the podcast with the newborn because
it's like your paternity leave.
We are. Oh, what's that?
Paternity leave.
Paternity leave? Maternity leave.
No. Maternity leave. Maternity leave is for moms.
What's a dad?
Paternity leave.
Paternity leave?
Paternity.
So you...
like a paternity test. Paternity leave.
You are not the father.
You are the father.
I am the
Take
father.
one look at that kid. You know that's your father.
She is.
Your child.
Seriously, you made a beautiful kid.
Thanks.
Do it 2 or 3 more times and we're going to be good to go.
Oh my goodness.
All
I
right.
would be pregnant again any day. I like being pregnant.
How many kids are we going to have, though?
Probably 3. Hopefully,
Why is that?
God willing.
Why not, like, 4 or something like that? You just gonna stop at 3?
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll just leave it there. I got a whole joke there, but I can't say it on the radio. So
Please don't. Please don't.
Have you ever asked me?
Going with it. Like making the eyes like shut up.
I got so many dad jokes. I got good ones. I got not ones I could put on the radio show. If you want to hear the end of that joke, I will give you that one at GIE+EXPO. There you go.
At the X-Mark booth.
At the X-Mark booth. No, dude, seriously though. Like, I don't ask for a lot from any of you guys.
Why are you like begging people?
I'm not begging.
You're begging and you're bribing them with books.
I am bribing with books. That's a fact. But like, because I still got people that I want to impress, and like, I'm just like you guys. There's times when I'm trying to put on a good show, and X-Mark's like my dream sponsor, my dream company.
It really is.
It's a solid relationship, but I'm always like, hey, like we're gonna work together, right? And they're like, yeah. Like I'm like, okay, cool. But I'm like, hey guys, can we just
like
have
a clingy girlfriend?
just look at if the whole show could just come to that booth for an hour, just whatever. What we're gonna give away pink strawberry sprinkled donuts. We're gonna give away coffee. We're gonna give away pretzel. I'm just kidding. We're not doing any of that.
What I would do for a donut.
Yeah, what would you do for a Klondike bar?
Can't have that either.
All right, well, we're going to button up right here. If you guys, Paul, I'm telling you find a girl, man, this is your future. This is what you're in for. He's like, man, I can't wait to have a girl and she can podcast with me. I'm like, oh boy. You never know what you're going to get. So let's go kick it back over to Marty, Mr. Producer. We're going to button up right here. We genuinely cannot wait to see you guys at the X-Mark booth at GIE+EXPO. 10 to 11 a.m.
You're selling the
10 to 11:30.
You are spending more time selling the X-Mark booth than you are the actual like GIE or Launchpreneur Academy. Just please, for the love of God, apparently come see Brian at the X-Mark booth.
I wanted to send me a standard. You know what I'm saying?
Girlfriend.
I wanted to send me the new mower. You know, I got bills to pay. You know what I'm saying?
You really liked that one,
dude. It's a sweet mower though.
We can't say.
I can't tell you anything about it.
Mower that shall not be named.
It's another. It's really badass. It's really
who shall not be named. That's a Harry Potter reference for anybody.
Yeah, I didn't see that episode of Lord of the Rings. So it's a sweet mower though. I really am excited about it. You guys, I mean, the Staris, you know, it was okay. It wasn't the best mower, but the new one that's coming out is going to be really, really cool, and they're going to debut at that show. So it's going to be really cool. So if you got to meet Paul, awesome. You want to meet me and Liz, awesome. We'd love to meet you guys. If you want to meet not me, but see the new stander and the new mowers that they have a couple other new things coming out too, but I can't talk about it all, obviously. But it's really, really cool. So I'm really looking forward to it. But all right, well, guys, let's do this. Let's kick it over to Marty, Mr. Producer, down in the ATL. That's our sign off. Guys, we really appreciate you listening into this episode of the show. Be back here Friday. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we have shows for you guys. If you're new to the podcast, don't forget to leave a rating and review. We always appreciate that as well. But we are over and out. Babe, say hey, hi, and bye.
Hey, hi, and bye.
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 See you guys.
Bye.
Oh, God. I'm gonna have to shovel. I don't even have a snowblower. Nobody to plow me. Oh, my God, and the neighbors suck. They don't help. Oh, my God, what am I gonna do?
Do you want to keep the cash flowing this winter? Head over to L'EntrepreneurAcademy.com and check out all of Brian Fullerton's new courses and powerful resources to get you cashing in on that white gold through plowing snow. The Snow Plowing Training Course is easy to understand, and you'll learn what it takes to do the job effectively and how to bid, price, and estimate snow plowing for both residential and commercial properties. L'EntrepreneurAcademy.com has 3 new resources to take the hassle and guesswork out of securing your snow removal jobs. Plus, there's eye-catching marketing materials that can help you secure new clients quickly. Ready to crush the snow game this year? Visit L'EntrepreneurAcademy.com or use the link in the podcast description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.